Okay, this is Lance Parker. Welcome to my channel. This is brand new, and I'm going to start with as I'm preparing for what I want my channel to be, which I think roughly is going to be a singer, songwriter, guitar player who's mostly learned guitar by ear and by word of mouth, a couple lessons, but not a lot of theory background. First thing I want to do is review 3 main YouTube channels, and I'm going to follow up with a few more, but 3 main YouTube channels that have inspired me, and ever since the 2020 happened, the fact of finding this resource to learn about music in more a theoretical way, and I'll go through the few people that I'm going to review, but commentary and just their take at music has, to me, opened up a lot of world that I wouldn't have had for learning technically without their help. So there's 3 sites. This is just my quick review on if any of this rings a bell with you. These are 3, I've been watching them now, each of them probably for a few years, or a couple years, and I think they're great sites, and hopefully if you enjoy them, you'll come back and watch what I'm going to try to do. So the first one, who I just signed up for their Patreon because I had watched so many of them, learned so much, and I should probably do that for all of these, but I haven't done it yet, is I'm a guitar player, and this person is David Haugen Guitar, and he has a YouTube channel at David Haugen Guitar. I'm going to put it in the link. And what I really get from him is he's a really good teacher, and he literally sits there and teaches you things on guitar, but he takes snippets of, he's more in the independent rock vein, maybe some kind of old folk styles and whatnot, that became infused into independent rock. That seems to be a lot of his influence. Blues styles, but all kind of feels contemporary to me at this point, in certain circles of music. But he takes small snippets, and he is just incredibly knowledgeable on guitar. I think he's trained at Berkeley Music, I believe, but he really speaks to the common person in a lot of ways, even the things I don't understand that he's talking about. I think he tries to hit points along the way that almost anybody can understand, and always has a good background set, plants in the back. Has really good equipment, guitar equipment, amplifier, which he shares with you. Amazing. Eric Haugen Guitar. I would go check that out. Number 2, a little bit in the more musical theory, or not that David Haugen has a whole series on theory, but straight musical theory, or song examples that have a lot to do with the theory in playing in pop music. He's piano oriented. It is the site is David Bennett Piano, and he's a younger kid with a English accent, and he's great presentation. He has he'll take one element of music and find a huge degree of examples that support his point. Let's say a very simple one would be playing in 4/4 time, and he'll have this huge library of examples that he'll give to make his point. And he also is a phenomenal, he just uses the piano as his backup, and he seems to be able to play by ear along to, I'm sure he puts a lot of time into all his videos, but seemingly effortless use of his piano to reinforce his examples. David Bennett Piano. I think he has a second channel that goes into even deeper dives, but amazing resource. Also, the third one was a little different, almost like a combination of those two, and also adds a lot of commentary. He's a music producer historically. Also, I think a very well trained musician. It seems like he's been in the business for decades. It's Rick Beato Music. I think his channel is probably much bigger than even those two previous people, because he seems to identify with a wide swath of audience, and he also does some interviews and whatnot. But from a musical theory standpoint and a little bit more of a commentary observation of songs, he's got a ton of videos now that you can watch. But what I like about him is he literally he has a series called "What Makes a Song Great." He'll put on a song and he'll kind of hit all the points of why it's good, from just a visceral level of why we all love that song, and then he'll pull out his guitar and show you musically why it's happening. He'll isolate tracks because he's in his own recording studio, and show you some recording techniques that make these songs special. Really well-rounded look at a lot of mostly rock songs, but same genre, folk, and some independent music from maybe the 90s on. And definitely just because of how long he's been in it, there's a wider swath of music that he's choosing from throughout history. But incredibly fun to watch. He's very inspirational, has a great community around him, it seems. So those three I have found at the top of what I go to the most. And then there's some ones after that I'm going to do in another episode, but I wanted to start my channel by giving a nod to those three. And then if that helps you kind of sort through probably the hundreds of channels that are out there, I hope that helps. Maybe you could give me some feedback on things that I'm missing out on, and I hope that you tune in to my channel, that I'm going to explore a very much less technical side of music, but I'm going to focus on more or less a songwriter's aspect of learning theory, coming from a background of really not knowing a lot, because I learned to play songs by ear and just by chord shapes, and had no musical training. Picked up a guitar on my own when I was 19 years old, and my journey has come from an end where I just didn't have the opportunity to go and learn a lot of music theory. I picked up little things along the way, but I'm finding these sites incredibly, there's an incredible amount of knowledge to be learned in a short amount of time, and I'm going to kind of try to explain my journey of learning through these and how that's affecting the music that I like to make up. And I'm going to be releasing a new collection of songs within the next 6 months, and I'm hoping to preview some of that stuff along the way. And please join me, and if this sounds interesting at all, please hit the like and subscribe, because I know that is the only way. And ring the bell, and that will tell you when my new episodes come up, because I will get lost in the algorithm. I'm brand new, and if anybody sees this out there, I would love it if you could just give it a chance and see where we go with it. And if anybody has any suggestions, I'd like to hear them. But until then, I'm gonna make that my first foray into a channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Over and out. This is Lance Parker. Bye.